What's up, Cereal Bowls? It's your favorite crazy cereal, Insaneapplejackz. How are y'all doing? Because I'm doing super duper chill. Hopefully you guys are doing well as well, because today we're here once again for another video, so hopefully you're ready for it. So to answer your curious question as to what today's video is about, we're actually here to talk about the OLED Switch, which is the newest model inside of the Switch family, and it comes out relatively soon. Which, while cool, may not be exactly what you wanted, but you guys know how it goes here. First, we'll get into the topic, and then I'll give you my opinion. So let's get into it. On July 6, 2021, Nintendo dropped an announcement trailer showing off a new Switch. The new Switch being the OLED model named after its key feature, an OLED screen. In this trailer, Nintendo goes through multiple clips showing off the new features of the OLED model, while in a general environment as text displays on the screen, telling you exactly what those new features are. The new OLED Switch will have the following features: a 7-inch OLED screen, a wider adjustable kickstand on the back of the device, an enhanced audio interface, 64 gigabytes of internal memory, and a dock with a new design that features a LAN port. This OLED model comes in at a price of $350 USD and is expected to launch October 8th of 2021. So what does all of this mean? This basically equals to a mid-cycle revamp, much like the PS4 Slim or the Xbox One S, where the main hardware of the system remained the same, but in its place, refinements are made to improve the current experience, as opposed to what people wanted, which was closer to the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, where the software remained the same, but slight hardware upgrades allowed for more performance in exchange for a higher price tag. In my honest opinion, I feel like this is kind of a middle-of-the-market product, which it has some alright enhancements, though they mostly serve handheld users of the system, as the OLED screen, kickstand, and improved audio are only in effect when in handheld mode. The LAN port is a much needed and wanted update to the dock, though I feel like that should have been on the dock to begin with, and if not the beginning, then at least the Switch Red Box revamp. I also don't know how to feel about losing a port for something I feel should have always been there, as I believe the LAN port is replacing one of the internal USBs on the dock from the looks of it. And don't get me wrong, these are good improvements, but still limited in nature to one form factor or the other, which just happens to be an issue inside of a two form factor device. So I get that there was always going to be mode specific upgrades with a system like this. It's just in a matter of how it's being upgraded, as it comes down to which mode you use more than the other. In addition, are said upgrades worth $50 more to you? That's the question you have to ask when it becomes mode specific upgrades. Possibly the only difference that's felt all around is the 64 internal memory upgrade, which is double the memory of other Switch models. This upgrade feels like it was needed, as 32 is pretty low, and while 64 isn't much better, it's something. I think my perspective on the memory upgrade is swayed a little because, on one hand, I own an SD card on my Switch due to the original low 32 models. Though, on the other hand, even with the way games are sized on the system, you never know when exactly the extra space may be needed. It might be nice during a travel session. To jump back for a second, let's talk about the OLED screen itself. I think if you're a handheld user, the larger size is nice, though how noticeable it'll be is to be seen, as the new OLED screen will be 7 inches, where the old Switch sits at 6.2 inches in screen size, so not even a full inch in difference. Though, this is a jump for the Switch Lite users whose screens are at 5.5 inches. And sure, the OLED screen tech is nice and is becoming more common in mobile devices, so it makes sense that this was the route that they would go moving forward with an update on a mobile device like this. Though, my gripe with it is, at the size it sits at, and the resolution it's displaying, how much bang are you getting for that buck? As in smaller form factor screens, the pixels are more packed. So yeah, the resolution difference is still a thing, but it's not like the lower res looks bad in that sizing to begin with. So at locked 720 in handheld, I don't know how much of a difference it'll fully make for most people. Sure, the pixels and colors might be sharper, though I don't know if it has the same weight as if it were moving more pixels like modern cell phones of similar size specs. Which, I don't know what it would have took to get the Switch to run at 1080 stable and handheld at all times, though I feel like that bump would have made for quite the way to divide the models and take full advantage of the new screen. The new kickstand is cool and looks to be actually functional compared to the skinny boy on the current Switches. The new Thickum stand takes up the entire back of the console in handheld, as it should. I think I used the skinny boy kickstand all at once before I determined, nope, this ain't it. Cause the current stand feels like a slight breeze or a shake will be the death of your $300 system. Which, if it's not adequate to hold it up, why be there? Most people opted to buy third-party solutions in the first place or just go the route of not using it at all. To which this new kickstand might be the same, but at least it seems like it has a higher build quality to functionality ratio. The audio upgrade feels like a weird one to talk about, almost because who's to say rather that's raw audio or edited levels in the video to make it all match up and be professional. So what I can say to that is, I hope that it's dope. Like, current audio in the handheld is alright for what it is, and since it's only affecting it there, that's the only place I could technically talk about it. It does have a muddier quality than I like, but it works for what it is and it gets the job done. It's nice and audible and it's there. So if it gets better, then good. If it's cleaner than the current audio, then good, but that's all I can really say to that until I have one in my hands and hear how it sounds versus any recording or non-in-person version of this audio. The final point I want to hit on this is overall dock resolution, as it is a point that we all wanted them to hit. I think at this point in 2021, it's reasonable to want a higher resolution for the Switch in dock mode at the very least. Like, if they still had to offset handheld by downscaling a res, that's fine. That's perfectly fine and understandable, because how that kind of tech works. After all, it's still a two form factor device. Though, in 2021, the tech for higher res is there, and it has been worked into a more stable area than when the Switch first came out. I think it's kind of lame that you can have a 4K TV all day for the same price as a Switch, but your system def isn't about to run it. Which isn't to say everything has to be in 4K, but the market seems to be moving towards these higher resolutions, with other systems having features to accommodate that format and games having patches to make them playable at that scale. I don't think 1080 is going anywhere anytime soon, as it still looks good and is on the cheaper end really compared to some 4K options, though higher res tech is coming down in price and becoming more accessible. So I think an effort to have made the dock at least run at 1440 would have been nice. To which, sure, it's not Nintendo's fault you own a TV with better output than their product. They only control their product. And as my friends who are more Nintendo heavy than me would probably say, but Apple, Nintendo doesn't care about the cutting edge tech or res, so why does it matter? Which I think it's definitely due to a lot of their stuff being in-house projects, so they're comfortable keeping the bar where it lies. If you can set the bar and you're mostly the only one working by that standard, you don't have to move that standard for anybody. Though, they have third-party devs on their system who could be making great stuff, with just a touch more performance and the ability to run higher demanding titles stable. That's not to say that they're not making great stuff for the system, but it does kind of hinder where that process goes currently. I guess that ties into my closing thoughts on this. The Switch OLED seems cool. For those who don't have a Switch or have an older first-gen Switch, as the red box Switch updated the battery on the system, but also this is a full enclosed system. So healthy batteries will always be more beneficial than not. Though, if you already have a Switch and it's in good health, I don't think I can suggest rushing out right away to replace your current model. I mean, if you want to, feel free and go for it. Because while the updates are cool, they just aren't enough for that kind of upgrade, in my opinion. Which doesn't prevent me from asking though, after hearing all this, do you think you'll get yourself an OLED Switch? Do you think you'll keep your own Switch? Do you not have a Switch? What is your predicament? Let me know in the comments down below. But with all that being said, I'll catch you dudes at the end of the box. And we are back at the end of the box where we just sat up here and finished another super duper amazing video. Thank you dudes so much for checking it out in the first place. I appreciate you guys for coming through and giving it the time to begin with. But additionally, if you sat up here and watched this video all the way through, super duper props to you because I definitely appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, and if you really enjoyed it, be sure to share it around so more people can catch it. If you have anything you would like to say down below, rather you want to say hey, rather you want to talk about some of the things I said on the Switch Oled Edition, or rather you want to answer my question as to if you're getting it or not, feel free to leave that down below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Additionally, if you're looking for more content, there's currently a video showing on the screen as well as a bunch more videos that you can catch on this channel. Are you looking for me outside of YouTube? Because we all know how that goes. You can check out the names on the screen currently, or you can check out the mega link down in the description and find all my other social medias. Additionally, if you aren't already subscribed, what's going on, dude? Join the Cereal Bowl Nation, greatest nation on the internet. If you ain't know it, now you know it. Hope we're doing super duper and I can provide you with your vitamins and nutrients for your entertainment breakfast. And finally, if you enjoy this show so much and you're looking for ways to support it, there is a Patreon. If you'd like to check that out, feel free to check that out. But with all that being said, thank you dudes so much for checking this video out. Munch, 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 peace out, and that's a wrap.